Now, for those people who have an Aquarius rising sign in your D9 chart, in your Navamsa chart, keep that in mind that the dignity of Saturn in your D9 chart, in your natal chart, is very important when Saturn now goes into the Pisces sign. Because as I've said, the D9 chart is a chart of higher probabilities, not possibilities. The D1 chart is a chart of possibilities, but the D9, the Navamsa chart, is the chart of higher probabilities. The higher probability of an event happening, a result happening, an opportunity coming by for you, a change happening, a transformation happening. So it's important that you also look at the transit of a planet through the Navamsa chart, in the Navamsa chart also, rather than only the D1 chart. So based on where your Saturn is placed in your D9 chart, this will play a role. Especially this particular segment we're talking about, Aquarius being the rising sign in your D9 chart. So for those people who have Aquarius rising sign in your D9 chart, in your Navamsa chart, and Saturn now going into the third house, into the second house, do see in your natal chart where Saturn is placed. So that connection will come by. Saturn is placed in the 10th house and now transiting into the second house. So earning getting connected to work. If Saturn is placed in the third house and now going into the second house, so effort getting connected to money, nutrition, gains. If Saturn is placed in the 6th house and now going into the second house, so ability to be able to overcome enemies and then make money, those connections will come. So do see Saturn's dignity in the D9 chart, in the natal chart also. Secondly, Saturn's rulership of houses. Saturn rules both the 12th house, which is the Capricorn sign, as well as the Lagna. And so it's become very, very important because ruling the Lagna and the 12th house going into the second house, which means an increase in stature, dignity in standing through your ability to be able to make creative changes, transformative changes, because Rahu is placed in the Lagna, in the sign of Aquarius, which Rahu co-rules with Saturn. So the 12th house connects you to with high expenses, but also wastages if you are not able to keep your money in check, able to make wise decisions, especially with Rahu in the Lagna. And that can come by because of a bad connection, a bad social network. So investing money in some opportunity because of some friendship and then losing money can also come by. However, if you make thoughtful, learned decision, then the ability to be able to make money through a connection. Remember the D9 chart, the Navamsa chart is all about partnerships, connections, relationship. Then the results will come higher for you through somebody you know, or maybe a friend making money for you through it also. But keep in mind that Rahu being in the Lagna will vary of where you're making the connection. And because Rahu is in the Lagna, for you, for Aquarius rising sign people in the Navamsa chart, when Rahu transits in a few weeks into Aquarius and aspects both Jupiter and the 9th house. So for in the Navamsa, Saturn ruling the Lagna and going into the second house where Rahu is aspecting these houses will also have a strong bearing for the ability to be able to make a change, transformative change through your ability to be able to learn, using your experiences and then making money strongly coming by for you. And using that money to be able to make assets, buy assets, make new assets, or even buy conveniences, because Saturn's third aspect is in the Taurus sign, the money sign, but on the 4th house. And Saturn's 7th aspect is on the 8th house of transformations, change. So Saturn is obstructing a bad change, a bad transformation, but Saturn is inviting a good change, a good transformation also. So keep that in mind. Also keep in mind Saturn's dignity and placement in the D1 chart, and then connect it with its dignity and placement in the D9 chart. I've already done videos of how to be able to see the connection of Saturn in the D1 chart with Saturn's placement in the D9 chart. Now that Saturn is transiting into Pisces, so use that learning accordingly, and also see my video which I've done from the Lagna rising sign for Saturn's transit into Pisces.